Hey you guys, what is up? Ginno here, today with my top 10 albums of the year. This is including all genres, not just limited to K-pop albums. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. If you haven't seen my top 10 K-pop albums, I suggest you watch that first. I'll put a link in the description to that. Go check it out. Anyway, let's get into this. Coming in at number 10, it is Khaled's debut album American Teen. This is a really fresh take on R&B. Khaled, he's only 19 or something, and he dropped this in February. I only started listening to it in about sort of August, July time, and I really liked it from the get-go. A long list actually. Like the track listing is quite long, and really every song is incredibly consistent, with standout songs being Location, Young Dumb Broke, 18. There's a number of great songs on here, but I think it's the fact that it's so new and refreshing. That's what I love about it. Coming in at number 9, it's another R&B soul type album. This is by Daniel Caesar and it is called Freudian. I only started listening to this about 3 months ago thanks to a flatmate, and I was sort of blown away, to be honest. The range of songs that are on this album are incredibly impressive. Standout songs have to be Get You, Best Part, We Find Love, that's probably my favourite. It's quite a short album, there's only 10 or so songs. There's some really strong features on here as well. Really gorgeous, and I think it's actually Daniel Caesar's second project or something like that. So incredibly impressive that he dropped such a quality album. At number 8 we have Tyler the Creator with his best project to date and his most interesting and original project to date. Looking back on older stuff like Goblin and Wolf, this is such a step up for him. This is an R&B album, true and true. There are some hip-hop songs on here, like Who Dat Boy, which was the lead single off it, and it was really good actually. And then there's some other songs like Ain't No Time, is that it? Ain't Got Time. Yeah, but I mean, standout tracks: Boredom, Garden Shed, 911, My Lord, Mr. Lonely, that's a great track. Potholes as well, that's a Jaden Smith feature. So yeah, Scumfuck Flower Boy, what an album. You may be sensing a theme now, that this list is very R&B heavy, and once again, coming in at number 7, it's SZA's Control. I believe this is her debut album. My lord, I'm so incredibly impressed. The first song, Superwoman, just incredible song. The way the track listing flows, it tells a very articulated story, or well-articulated story. Drew Barrymore is easily the standout track for me. It's one of my favourite tracks of the year. Her vocals are nice, but for me it's more the way she sings, the tone of her voice. She's also got this slight sort of Caribbean vibe, and I love that. Really interesting instrumentals as well. Great usage. Coming in at number 6 is G-Dragon's project Kwonji Young. This of course was on my K-pop list at number 2. A superb short mini album EP drop type thing. All the songs have grown on me hugely. I think standout track obviously is Untitled. That was my favourite song, K-pop song of the year, but it was very high up on my general songs of the year as well. Incredible vocals, interesting and original songs. A great project from an astounding artist. Just breaking into the top half has one of the best hip-hop records of the year. This is Joey Badass with All American Badass. Interesting take on the current state of affairs in the United States. Joey drops some of his best bars here and delivers some great verses, as well as some great features from artists like Schoolboy Q and J. Cole. Standout tracks like Rockabye Baby, Ring the Alarm, Landed the Free. It's actually quite a heavy-hitting and emotional album, but at the same time it's so fun, and it is pure hip-hop, which I really did enjoy about this. Another great Joey project. I'm always impressed with this dude, so I'm looking forward to more stuff from him. And just edging out of the podium places is my favourite Korean album of the year, which was IU's Palette, a superb, original, incredible vocal album. Real range of genres here, from R&B to pure bubblegum pop, and then there's also some superb ballads here. Very interesting drop from IU. She's had a great year. Highly suggest you check this out if you haven't already. And now, really tough positioning for these top 3. These were my 3 favourite albums of the year. They really could be interchangeable, but at number 3, I decided to go with Kendrick Lamar's Damn. This is not To Pimp a Butterfly, and it's not Good Kid, Mad City, but those were 10 out of 10 albums. Damn, for me, 8, 9 out of 10. I absolutely adore this album, though. It is full of bangers. The production on it's great. I love the story that's woven into it, but it's not so sort of intense like Good Kid, Mad City, where there was a full-on storyline throughout the whole album. This here is a little bit more disjointed, and it's mixed in with some tracks like Humble, which don't necessarily make much sense within the realms of the story, but they work this song because it's such a banger. For me, this is Kendrick's most mainstream album to date, but he pulls it off with aplomb, and for me it shows that he is a very well-versed artist. I feel he can keep on dropping projects and they will be good. This isn't a classic like To Pimp a Butterfly or Good Kid Mad City, but it's such a solid project. And at number 2 I have one of my favourite new group artists of this year, who I discovered back in January before they dropped their first full-on studio album, thanks to Nathan Zed, otherwise known as the Third Pew. Incredible guy, but he sort of introduced me to them. This is Brockhampton, and I decided to go with Saturation 2 here. I do like Saturation 1 a lot. In fact, I'll be talking about that in a bit. It's one of my honourable mentions. Saturation 2 for me is a better project overall. I think it's more cohesive. It has better outright single bangers, songs like Queer, songs like Sweet, songs like Fighter. I love these songs. Or is it Fight? Fight or Fighter? I don't know. Probably just check, because that's not something you really want to get wrong in your top 10 of the year. It is Fight, yeah, it's Fight, yeah. I also adore more vocal songs like Tokyo and Summer. There really is something for everyone on Saturation 2. It's got real range, and it's a little bit more aggressive than Saturation 1, which I enjoy. They also kind of switch it up with some of the flows. I think in Saturation 1 there was a lot of the same old flow, whereas Saturation 2 is a little bit more different, it's a little bit more vibrant. So yeah, that's my reasoning for it being number 2. Superb album. Get on the Brockhampton hype train. They are so talented. Kevin Abstract, Amir Van, Merlin, Don McLennan, Joba, Bareface, my lord, there's so many talented guys. I think am I forgetting someone? Matt Champion, of course, Matt Champion. Yeah, great guys, hugely talented, and there's a huge team surrounding them as well. They're all part of Brockhampton. There's like 17 of them. There's the vocalists, there's the designers, there's the producers. There's so much that goes into all their stuff. Their music videos are great as well. Highly suggest you check them out. And now let's move on to some honourable mentions. I have a lot, because there's so many albums I wanted to mention. First and foremost, I need to mention EXO The War album. Just wow, incredible album. Yeah, I loved EXO's drops this year, but the War rather than the repackaged album is the best. Sci-Hi The Prince, No Dope on Sundays, superb album from Sci-Hi. I was so happy he released it. Rhapsody's Layla's Wisdom, almost made it on at 10 this list. Khalid just edged it for me because I've listened to him a lot more. Vince Staples with Big Fish Fury, a great hip-hop album, really interesting and weird, I loved it. Another interesting and weird hip-hop album, Kel Chris, Being You is great, I wish I could be you more often. Weird album, I loved it. Then Joji's In Tongues EP, that was a great R&B vocal mix, really enjoyed that. I think this one is a weird pick for a lot of people. This is Jaden Smith's Sire. I didn't expect it, it was great. Jaden Smith, big up, that was really, really impressive. My lord. I've listened to it a lot as well. Then shout out for the English boys, got Wiley's Godfather, great album, and also Game Over by Dave. That was big this year. Really impressed with that. Great job. He's only 19 as well. Really, really impressive. And now I just want to mention Brockhampton's Saturation 1. Of course, I could have had this on the list as well. I was thinking about maybe putting it 10 as well, but I just edged it out because I do prefer Khalid in general to this album. But Brockhampton Saturation 1, incredible album. Saturation 3 is great as well, but it was released after the December 1 deadline, so it doesn't make it onto this list. And if it was before December the 1st, I would consider it being on this list because Saturation 3 is amazing as well. Then we have the 21 Savage and Offset Without Warning album, great drop. Didn't expect that at all, it was Without Warning. Big Crit's Forever Is a Mighty Long Time, superb hip-hop album. As is JID's The Never Story, really interesting release from a very new artist. Then we have Year of the Ox's EP, Yox. These guys go from strength to strength, great Korean rappers. Written at Night by Uncommon NASA as well, a superb weird hip-hop album, lots of respect for that dude. Mac DeMarco really shaking up the indie rock scene with This Old Dog, interesting album, enjoyed that a lot. Then Take Notes by Notes, another English rapper, really impressed with him. Steve Lacy's Demo, god, wow, he's a talented guy, he's going to be around for a while I reckon. Then finally I have a very strange album that not many of you will have heard of, but I really, really enjoyed thanks to one of my friends who introduced me to them back in like April. This is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards, Flying Microtonal Banana. Great album. They dropped a lot of albums this year, and that was my favourite. So yeah, those are my honourable mentions. And finally, at number 1, the album that has just filled me with such joy this year, the one that has really made me so happy, and I don't really know how to express how much I love this album. This is Jay-Z's 444 album. I've always considered Jay-Z to be one of the best rappers out there, not necessarily in terms of skill, but in terms of the music he has put out, and 444 is a real showing of maturity from him, the topics he tackles, the bars he spits, the instrumentals he chooses have really changed from some of his older projects. This is a more sort of humanizing project, more like a Sean Carter album as opposed to like, you know, a Jigga album. Completely different to like the Blueprints. It's a superb album. You really need to listen to it if you haven't already. Don't get sidetracked with the whole thing. It was released on Tidal. I have it on Apple Music, and I enjoy it so much, honestly. Every single one of the songs is enjoyable. The features on it are very strong. Frank Ocean's on it. Damian Marley Jr.'s on it. Bam! That song is superb. And I also want to shout out the fact that he also released my favourite song of the year, which was 444. It's an apology song to Beyonce, and it's beautiful. Kill Jay-Z is also a highlight, as is Story of OJ. Just wow, that should win the Grammy for Song of the Year in my opinion, but I doubt it will, given it's up against like Ed Sheeran and stuff. Mad. So yeah, Jay-Z dropping an incredible project out of nowhere. I didn't expect that. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and a comment, suggest videos to watch in the future. Thank you for joining me on this list week. I said of 2 more videos to come, but they will be coming after Christmas Day. So tomorrow, I may record something today and upload it, but I doubt it. We'll see what happens, basically. Thank you. Ginno, signing out. See you guys soon. 이 정도 거짓말에 속아주는 게 아닌가요? 퇴외극한 멍청이 모두 날 봐요. 우리 생각할 겨를조차 주